This is how I normally store my medals after a race, but maybe there's a better way. .15 miles, 7 minutes, 59 seconds per mile. Feeling pretty good out there today, taking it relatively easy, trying to be a little bit more relaxed. Didn't have headphones because I forgot them and was just trying to enjoy the scenery and the weather out there. It felt pretty good. Today what I want to talk to you is about medals, and this is how I normally keep them. I'm not like a huge medal guy. I don't have like a big wall or something in the house where I keep all my bibs and medals and stuff. I pretty much throw the bib away as soon as I use the beer tickets, and then these go kind of, well, first, as soon as I get home, the girls always want to play with the medal. They want to see what they've won for the day. That's kind of how they put it. My medals are their medals. And then they kind of end up in this box thing here. And what ends up happening is that I'm losing medals. And so there's one medal that I was going to use for today's video, and I'm still kind of looking around for it, that I couldn't find in here. It's the one that means the most to me, and I'm trying to find it. It's the medal I got from the first marathon I ever ran, and it's the one that I ran with my dad, and it's from the Baltimore Marathon in 2010. I've shown you guys the medal, so if I ended up losing it, you know, I've got a video about it, and I've told the story about it, and so I'm okay with that. But this isn't really a great system, and so obviously I'm not huge about displaying them, but I also don't want to lose them either. And so I came across this product, Kudos2U. It is a display case for race medals. And what I've done here is I've put in a 5K medal that I got from a race that I PR'd at this year. The first time I was able to break 20 minutes for the 5K, basically since high school in the 90s. And so this one, it's a medal that's unassuming. It's a medal that is not the biggest of the medals that I have, but it does mean a lot to me. And so I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to start collecting and have a different medal for each kind of distance. So 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon. And so that way, hopefully it'll rotate as the PRs drop. Then I'll be able to take this one out, put a different one in there, because everything that you do is kind of reusable. And so the way that this is, before I talk any more about this product, this Kudos2U Coaster Plus product, a little bit of full disclosure. I got this and another coaster for free given to me by the owner at Kudos2U. His name's Ryan. He lives in Chicago. He's an accomplished athlete in his own right. He used to do triathlons. Then he switched over to marathons for a while. He qualified for the Boston Marathon in his 20s, which I consider an amazing achievement. And he actually, when he was showing me these products, he showed me his Boston Marathon his Boston Marathon medal that he had put in there, and that's actually the first one that I've ever held. So that was pretty cool to see in there, and it fits in here really, really nice. There's a whole bunch of different colors that you can put in here as a background insert. I kind of like the black, more like a kind of museum matting. That's what I like to do. You can kind of color match. I tried to find one that was like the red for the Chicago red. There's a pinkish one in here. I don't know that it matched, so I just decided to go with the regular black color. So Ryan and I met, and he showed me the product, and he's giving me 4 additional of the coasters to do as a giveaway. So head over to Instagram, and I'll have details on the giveaway over there. Probably hopefully by the time you see this video. So that's something that I'm gonna have over there as well, and there'll be more details there. The other thing to keep in mind in terms of full disclosure, turns out that I actually knew Ryan from a long time ago. We went to college together. We were in the same fraternity. He was a couple of years behind me, but we did know each other. Our times did overlap there, and I remember Ryan from college. We kind of lost touch over the years, as I've lost touch with a lot, if not almost all of the people that I went to college with, except for like a handful of people. And so he had contacted me a little while ago, and it was good to catch up. And so when we met, it was most of the time spent catching up, and we did spend a little time about talking about this. So the way that this thing works, it opens up, it just kind of snaps open and snaps shut, and you can put your metals in there. And there's a whole bunch of different layers of foam that are in there that you can pick for color matching. And then when you take the other layers of foam out, you can keep the ribbon attached to your metal. And so that is something that I thought was pretty cool, because I didn't want to destroy the metal in case later on I wanted to put it in something else or display it some other way. I'm not altering or destroying the original metal as I received it. And there's a very heavy metal plate that's inside here as well. And so you can use that if you have a strong magnet. And let's say you put that magnet on a wall, then you could stick this on the wall, which is how I think that I will probably do it. Because the main way that this was actually intended to be used is as a coaster. And so the bottom of this is rubber, and it's got the company logo as little grippy feet. And so you could stick it on a surface and it'll stay there even if you got a really wet drink and it's got condensation on it and it's making the bar surface or your table surface wet. It'll stay right on there. And the weight on here makes it feel really substantial. So coffee cup, beer bottle, they all fit on here really well. It's nice and wide. And so pretty cool product, a nice way to kind of display your metals. It's a little bit different than hanging from a hook or sticking them in a shoebox like I've been doing. And I'm not as kind of crafty as other people, and so mine isn't as pretty as some of the other ones that I've seen when people kind of line theirs up. But I like doing it this way, and I like the idea of having, I think I'm probably going to make it either a wall, or you could stack them and make it a stack of kind of PR metals that you'll put in there. One caveat though, the size is limited, right? And so there's only so much metal that can fit in here. And so this is another metal that I was considering using for kind of this video. It's the first metal that I won kind of coming back to running after I'd taken the break after the Baltimore Marathon for several years. And this one means a lot to me. I like the Soldier Field race. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I thought I would put this one in here, but it only barely just fits in there. And so I thought it might look a little bit too snug. I want to show you one other metal. Sorry, I'm like rummaging through my shoebox. Obviously, a huge metal like this isn't gonna fit in there. This is the Chicago Half Marathons. They've just been getting ridiculous. I mean, this is so heavy, the ribbon is ripping. Anyway, that's not gonna fit in there. And unfortunately, this year's Chicago Marathon isn't gonna fit in there. So my goal of having like the PR wall, it's gonna have to wait till another year where the Chicago Marathon metal is a little bit smaller. Let me look in here. Let's see. Where is it? I'm trying to find my last year's. But last year's Chicago Marathon metal, that would fit in here, and it would fit in there really nicely. And so I think when they did the design of the product, they were trying to figure out, kind of what are the sizes of marathons, and specifically the Boston Marathon metal. For those of you that have one, I don't. For those of you that you do, don't worry. Those will definitely fit in there. I've seen it, and I know those metals don't change, and so that one will definitely fit in there, and that would be a pretty cool one to put in one of these things. But the Chicago Marathon one would fit. Unfortunately, this year's is a little bit bigger with the square corners, and I'm also not a big fan of this marathon. Or the shirt this year. Not a huge fan, but that one won't fit, but the other ones from prior years will. That's how I'm going to start saving at least some of my race medals. Try and take a little bit of pride. I'm usually not the kind of guy that displays this kind of stuff, but I do think it's important every once in a while to take a look back, especially as we're ending the summer season and most people's marathons are ending relatively soon, if not have already ended. And as we get into some of those colder winter months and it's going to get harder to get out there, a nice little reminder of what we can accomplish in the off season, and a reminder to keep getting out there. And it's in those times, the times when everyone else, and not that it's necessarily a competition, but it's those other times when we think we can stop, and we think we can take a break, and yet we keep going. Those are the times where I think we make a lot of the progress, not just physically, but also mentally. And so I think these will be nice little reminders to have. The retail price for these, I think, is $20 for each one of these coasters. Ryan's given me a promo code. I'll put that in the description. So it's currently in pre-order right now. The official launch, I think, is November 1st. So if you order now, I think you get a discount, or you can use my promo code to get a discount as well, or head over to Instagram and you can see if you can win one of these, because Ryan has given me 4 of them to give away. And so I hope you guys will enjoy it and show off your medals a little bit and have a little bit of pride. Even though I think for runners as a group, we generally tend not to be the most kind of boastful bunch, but every once in a while I think it's okay. And the last thing I want to talk about before I go is today's charity runner of the day. Today I want to spotlight Sean King. Sean contacted me. He's going to be running the Chicago Marathon 2019. It's weird to already be thinking about the 2019 Chicago Marathon, but he already is. He's going to be running for the American Cancer Society, ACS. His story is that his grandfather, Chip, died of pancreatic cancer when he was a teenager, and he's going to be running the 2019 Chicago Marathon in honor of his grandfather. And so I'll post a link to his fundraising page, and so if you want to help him out and support the ACS, I'd love it if you'd consider that. There you go, Sean. Good luck to you. Please let me know how your training goes, and hopefully I'll see you out there on the course next year. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?